Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our entire team, I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining us today at our first time homebuyer seminar. We're thrilled to have you here with us as we embark on this information journey together. Bringing your first home is a monumental milestone, and our goal today is to equip you with knowledge and insights you need to navigate this exciting process with confidence. Whether you're starting to explore the idea of homeownership or already deep in search of your dream home, today's seminar is designed to provide you variable guidance every step of the way. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Jerry Kent, a seasoned mortgage broker with extensive background in helping first-time homebuyers with their ownership dreams. Jerry's expertise in the mortgage industry is unparalleled, and he is here today to share a wealth of knowledge with all of us. During the seminar, Jerry will be addressing a topic that's crucial for everyone entering the housing market: the 9 common mistakes first-time homebuyers make. So without further ado, please join in welcoming Jerry Kent to the stage. Jerry, the floor is yours.
Wow. Thank you, Verinder, for that amazing introduction. Really appreciate that. I want to extend what Verinder said as well. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. We had a massive interest in this webinar. So if you're here, thank you so much for investing your time. Just without further ado, I think we don't want to take up too much time. We'll just start and we'll get right into it. I mean, this is a webinar that came about after years of just working with first-time homebuyers. We could have done, 15 mistakes, 20 mistakes, but this is the top 9. I mean, there's others, but this is what we've noticed over the years that first-time homebuyers are making. So without further ado, just want to kind of get into this a little bit. Oh, hold on. 2 seconds. Here we go. So who's this webinar for? I mean, if you're here watching this webinar, it's for you. We don't want you to think this is not for you, but specifically who is it designed for? It's if you are interested in purchasing a home in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, and you don't know what the home buying process or the home buying journey is. This is definitely for you. You're in the right place. And if you're employed or you have a steady income, even if you're self-employed but you get some sort of income, this webinar is for you. You've got some sort of you're an IT professional, teacher, or some sort of like an office job or some sort of a steady income. You have average to good credit. We get this question a lot. How do I know I have average to good credit? If you pay your bills on time, you have average to good credit. And you have access to some sort of down payment. So that could be part of savings or RSPs or something. It could be borrowed from a family member or a line of credit. We do have programs for that. So minimum 5% down to up to a certain threshold. So you have access to some sort of form of down payment. And you want to understand your monthly budget. What else is involved with as far as just not the down payment, and what other costs are involved. And you just kind of don't know what those are, and you want to kind of get a better understanding of that. Okay, so just a little bit about myself. I'm not going to take too much time. Vinder's really introduced me quite well. So just very quickly, I've been a mortgage broker for the last 15 years, working in the Lower Mainland, and I only bring that up because just the experience has taught me. We've seen a lot of files and we've dealt with a lot of situations, and that's where this webinar kind of comes from, is that 15 years of experience of dealing with a lot of first-time home buyers. I'm also the dedicated mortgage broker on the BC Corners and Homes team. I do all the financing for the realtors on the team. Also, just experience in residential, private, and commercial deals. Now over here, I mean, when I used to do this presentation, I used to say, well, I do hiking and what my hobbies are and everything. But on my free time, this is what you will see me doing. These are my 2 beautiful twin daughters. On my off time, on my free time, I spend time with them, and that is all I do. I am a dad to 2 beautiful daughters there. So without further ado, we're going to get into the very first mistake. Now, again, like I said, it could have been a lot of mistakes, but the first mistake that we see a lot of first-time homebuyers make is not knowing the difference between pre-approval and full approval. We, don't really blame anyone, but that's how the industry is set up. What does that really mean? We have clients that come up to us and say, I did a 60-second online approval, where you answer 7 or 8 questions, and they said I can qualify for $850,000. That's not a full approval. They don't check your documents. They don't ask you any questions. There could be a lot of things that go wrong with that. And first-time homebuyers don't know that. They seem to do that application and they think, I'll just go purchase for whatever that online approval is giving me. You walking into a bank is slightly better. But what a bank does is they do a pre-approval for you. They may take your documents, but they're not going to fully check them. And they're going to do a rate hold for you. That's what banks do. They're going to sell you an interest rate. They're going to do a rate hold for you, and that's it. They may take your job letter, pay stubs, and everything, but they're not going to send it off to their underwriters. The person that you're dealing with, the bank, is not well equipped in mortgages. They're selling you other products such as banks, bank accounts, RSPs, and everything. So that's a little bit better than the 60-second approval, but not quite there. Okay. So what we do a full, complete approval. What is that? What does that really mean? We do a full assessment of your needs. We sit down with you and we see where are you at right now? What do you want to do in the next year, 3 years, 5 years? We map everything out for you. Okay. We also do a full application. What does that mean? We're going to check your credit. We're going to check your documents. We're going to go over your documents. And if there's anything that's within those documents that we need corrected, or we need to kind of have, we need to figure out, this can't be this way, and we need to go back and figure that out, we do that up front for you. And with the credit thing, I know a lot of people get scared, oh, please don't check my credit. But I've had so many clients over the years say, well, I have great credit. And they do. But sometimes we've had clients where they've got a $20 Visa bill that they've never even known about. They signed up to a credit card, they never known, and that $20 Visa bill has just plummeted their credit. So we do all of that up front for you. We check all the documents, like I said before, so that there are no issues in the future. Now, we're able to do that for you. Banks don't do this because they don't have the resources to do this. We are able to do all of this for you. That's what a full approval is. Okay, so mistake number 2, not knowing the difference between a mortgage broker and a bank. This is a big one. Clients will come up to me, first-time homebuyers, well, why don't I just go to a bank, Jerry? You do with the banks as well. What's the difference? The bank, so we're just going to show you, it's a bit of a chart over here. So we've got a bank employee and a mortgage broker. So the products, when you walk into a bank, let's say it's a TD Bank, Scotia, RBC, I'm not saying banks are good or bad, they're going to only offer you their own product. Whereas a mortgage broker, if you don't fit in with TD or an RBC or a Scotia or a CIBC, we deal with all the banks. We deal with all the credit unions and all the finance companies. So when you come to me, I don't have any affinity to any of the banks. We're going to get you approved where you get approved. Also, representation. The bank's employee that is getting paid by the bank is representing the bank's interest. For me, if your file doesn't fit at TD, I don't represent TD. I'm going to take you to Scotia. I'm going to take you to Envision or Van City or one of the local credit unions. So that's in that way, we're representing the client's interests. Now, future strategies, this is super important. None of the banks go through this because all they're doing is selling you a rate. So with future strategies, we're proactively going to manage your money on the back end. I always ask, in this situation, I always ask clients this, when you have maybe $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 saved up, when you go to a financial planner, you don't really ask the financial planner, what's the best rate of return you can get me today? And that's the only question you ask them, because you want the financial planner to manage your money on the back end because the rate of return can change. But unfortunately, there is nobody managing your mortgage on the back end, which might be $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Who's managing your money on the back end and putting strategies so you can save money in the future? And what does this cost you? I mean, I've had first-time homebuyers come up and say, well, what's your cost? It is absolutely free. You don't pay me anything. We get paid by the lenders, but you don't pay me anything. Okay, so mistake number 3, not knowing the difference between a down payment and a deposit. We get this so often. People say, I have the minimum down payment, Jerry. I have the minimum down payment of 5%. It could be more. So let's just say it's a $500,000 place. I have $25,000 down. So a down payment is what's required. So if you're purchasing $500,000, you need $25,000. So that's your down payment. Well, what's a deposit? Well, deposit is a portion of that down payment that you have to give at the time of subject removals. So now, we can talk about subject removals at a later time, and that's what realtors do, like to protect you. But when you remove subjects, it's basically a good faith deposit. So out of that $25,000, you might need $10,000 that you have to give right away. A deposit you give to the real estate brokerage at the time of subject removals, and it goes in their trust account. And the remaining, if it's $15,000 remaining out of the 25, you take out to the lawyers. A lot of our clients, we've had in the past, they've said, no, I have the 25,000. I just don't have it with me right now. I thought I had 2-3 months to get it. I didn't realize I needed a deposit. So that's the difference between a down payment and a deposit. Mistake number 4, not knowing the cost of a mortgage. Big one. We've asked clients, we've asked first-time homebuyers, what is the cost of your mortgage? And the answer that we get is, isn't it just the interest rate? Isn't it the monthly payment that I pay? It's more than the interest rate on your mortgage, the cost of your mortgage. And no one explains that to first-time homebuyers. Well, I asked the question, if the interest rates were all the same at all the banks, if you went to CIBC, TD, Scotia, any of the banks, any of the credit unions, and all of the interest rates were, let's just say 5%, what other things are important? Does anything else matter? So that's where people start thinking, well, have you thought about penalties? Do you know different terms come with different penalties? 80% of Canadians take a 5-year fixed term because no one has told them that a 5-year fixed term comes with the largest penalty if you were to break that mortgage. What about terms? What term do you take given the environment that you're in the mortgage environment that you're in? Well, in 2020, when the rates were super low, what term should you have taken? Now that the rates are where they're at, what's the market doing? What term should you take? There should be some strategies behind that. That's the cost of your mortgage. How about options on products? How about, do you qualify for a hybrid mortgage? Is there a line of credits that you qualify for that could save you money in the future? What about strategies to save you money in the future? Who's managing your money on the back end that we just discussed in the last slide? Who's managing that for you? So if there's a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 savings on the back end, is someone going to tell you that? Well, if you walk into a bank, that bank is not going to tell you, hey, by the way, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, you can save $70,000 or $50,000 if you break your mortgage and you do this, because that money is coming out of their pocket. I don't work for the banks. I represent you. You will be getting that email from me. Our clients regularly get emails such as, this is how much money you're going to save. I mean, you're going to save. We found a way for you to save $50,000, and the only thing it's going to cost you is 2 hours of your time. Are you interested? So how often will you get a call to save you potential money? You should be asking that to any person that you talk to, be it a bank or a broker. Well, what are the strategies you're going to put in place for me? And how often are you going to call me in the future to help me save money? And if the answer is, well, I don't know, let's hope that the rates are low, that's not really a strategy. Mistake number 5, not having the right dream team. This is one of the biggest ones, guys. So I'll tell you, what does that really mean? I mean, you have to have the proper broker behind you, an experienced broker to put you in the right product today, so you are saving money in the future. You have to get yourself put in the right product at the beginning. If you don't do that, you lose out on a lot of money. Actively managing your money on the back end in the future. We've given you the example of the financial planner. We actively run multiple strategies on the back end for early renewals, for our ARM rate clients, for our fixed rate clients, for variable rate clients, for people going on as guarantors. We are running all of these things on the back end without you looking at the market. We do that for you. And if there's ever any savings, we get that to you. Realtor. I get this question from first-time homebuyers, but aren't all realtors the same? No, they're not. You need an experienced realtor to guide you through the process. There are so many steps in the process that you need a realtor to show you those steps, and an experienced realtor can do that for you. You also should be looking for a realtor that specializes in the city or the neighborhood that you're looking in. You don't want a realtor from the Fraser Valley showing you places in downtown Vancouver. And you don't want a person that works in downtown Vancouver showing you places in Chilliwack or in Surrey or in White Rock. Now at BC Condos and Homes, we have those realtors that specialize in certain areas. We have 10 realtors that each have their own area that they specialize in. If you so choose to partner with that, you can choose to kind of leverage that. How about a lawyer or a notary? People go out and look for the cheapest lawyer or notary. And I'm not saying price doesn't matter, but we've had experiences where lawyers or notaries, they're the ones that are going to ensure that your deal closes on time and it closes seamlessly. Meaning, if there's any issues on the back end, we don't want them to alarm you. I've had lawyers or notaries blow up deals at the last minute when they just didn't want to do the extra work. They say, oh, that's not on me. Whereas we have our experienced partners where they'll go above and beyond. They will not bother you. They'll take care of the stuff in the back end. And you can leverage all of this if you so choose, if you decide to partner up with us. Okay, mistake number 6, not understanding the small print of a mortgage. This is a big one. And I don't blame people. You're a first-time home buyer. all you're caring is, am I qualified? What's the interest rate? What's the monthly payment? And I got the house. And we've had so many people come back later and they say, well, I didn't read the small print and no one really showed me what that meant. Sometimes you get a lower rate by maybe quarter of a point, maybe less than a quarter of a point. Those low rates can come with some very large penalties, and that's in the small print. We've had clients pay penalties in the $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 range that have come to us where they've been placed in a mortgage and they didn't know that that mortgage came with a large penalty. How about low rates? Not even just low rates. I mean, I've got written down low rates there, but there are mortgages that come with bona fide sales clauses. Did you know that 65% of Canadians break their mortgage at the 34-month mark? And the banks know this as well. So they put in these large penalties or these bona fide sales clauses, meaning we had a client that had a life event and they wanted to get equity out of their home, but unfortunately they couldn't, because when we looked at their contract, they were placed by another bank. We looked at the contract, they had to sell their home to get that equity out. They literally had to sell the roof over their head. So what does all that mean? We ensure that you're aware of all this, all of the small print. And the key thing here is we're here to protect your family. We've seen all this stuff. We've done multiple deals. We're here to ensure that this doesn't happen to you. So if you partner with us, we're here to protect you and your family. Mistake number 7, not taking advantage of first-time homebuyers programs. There's so many out there. There's some little ones that people don't know about. I'm just going to list a few right now. Did you know that you can use your RSPs, RSP homebuyers plan? I'm sure that people might know that, and a lot of people don't. First-time homebuyer savings plan. People don't have that accounts opened up. How about the land transfer tax rebate? Did you know in BC that you get a land transfer tax rebate? And as of April 1st, 2024, that has increased. The threshold has increased. The only reason I bring that up is this is all we do. We're in the industry. We don't miss anything. So if you missed that, you would have missed out on some savings. First-time homebuyers tax credit. How about the GST, HST, possibly on the new housing rebate? There are some federal programs as well. Now, you may qualify for these and other programs. Again, you're not expected to know any of this stuff, guys. But if you partner with us, we're going to make sure that you don't miss out on any of these opportunities. If you qualify for 1, 2, 3, or multiple of these programs, we're going to make sure that you get that money back. Okay. Not understanding your closing costs is another big one. We have first-time homebuyers that'll come in and they'll say, yep, I've got my 5% minimum down payment or my 10% minimum down payment. I'm good to go. Well, what about possible other closing costs? What about the PTT? We just talked about that. 1% of the first $200,000 and 2% of the balance. Well, if you're a first-time homebuyer, if you buy up to $500,000, you're exempt from that. Well, as of April 1st, that threshold has been increased to $800,000. And beyond that, there's a formula. But what if you're buying more than that? You have to account for the PTT. And we do that for you. We do that for you in the budget sheet. How about notary lawyer costs? Sometimes lawyer costs $2,500, sometimes they're $1,500. This is estimated. But we also make you aware of that. Along with, there might be an appraisal cost. There might not be, but there might be. And house insurance. This is another one. I mean, people buy houses. You cannot close on a house without house insurance, and people don't account for this, right? So you need to get house insurance. Again, that's estimated. It could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit lower, but we do estimate that for you. And there's a number of others that we can't fit on this. But again, I understand. You're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to know everything. That's why that's why you're a first-time home buyer. But we look out for you on that. We create the Excel worksheet for you for your kind of goals, and we put all this on there for you to let you know that these are the possible costs. Now, mistake number 9, not understanding your monthly budget. We get a lot of this where clients will come in and say, well, there's my mortgage payment, and then that's it. But mortgage payment kind of comes into the rest of your monthly budget. Have you kind of accounted for, maybe there's a parking rental in the building that you're purchasing? How about strata fees? That could be anywhere from $300 to $500 a month. Utilities, moving costs. There's a lot of other things that come in. There's a number of others, but again, we don't expect you to know. There's so much information. There's so much to do as a first-time home buyer that we do this for you. Okay, so those are the 9 mistakes. Hopefully, again, we just kind of went through them a little bit quick there. Hopefully, you guys have gotten something out of that. Now, after that, what is the offer here? What are we kind of offering you? Really, really quickly, guys. Just going to go through this super quick here. You get one point of contact. We have a team in the background that works with us. There's 10 realtors, there's underwriters that we have in the background. But for financing, I'm your point of contact. If you go to a bank, you might deal with Bob today, Linda tomorrow, someone else like 3 years from now. I'm going to be here for the life of your mortgage. White glove concierge service, meaning everything is tailored to your specific needs. We understand that not all mortgages are the same, and not all people that are getting the mortgage are the same. People seem to think if I get a mortgage and my friend gets a mortgage, it's all the same. It's absolutely not. Your situations are different, and we go over that with you. So absolutely, we tailor that to your needs. We are also going to present you with opportunities in the future, so you're not looking at the market. Are the rates going up? Are the rates going down? Should I break my mortgage? Am I going to save money? You don't have to worry about that if you partner with us. We're going to do that for you. We're going to manage your money on the back end for you. Okay? Custom proposal to show you how much you can afford and your monthly costs. Nobody's, banks don't do this. They just go, this is your interest rate, there's your payment, this is what you qualify for. Well, what about the rest? Right? We do that. And you get access to our experienced partners, realtors, notaries, insurance agents. Again, over the years, we've vetted these, people out. And you get to have access to our inner circle, which saves you time and money. So you're not calling around and saying, well, who do I use for a realtor? Who do I use for a notary? If you so choose to use that with us, I mean, you can use your own, but we've vetted these people for you. Okay. And also ultimately, what you get when you partner with us is we're protecting your family. We're putting you in the right product today for any future growth that you may have in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. We're not here for the life of the mortgage. We're here for your life, because we know once you have financing, it's going to continue. So that is basically the offer right there. And you know what? I have to say it one more time. People kind of go, well, you're doing all this for us. What is the cost? It is absolutely free. Again, we don't charge you a dime for any of this stuff. If you're going to a AAA, to a bank or a credit union or a finance company, we don't charge you anything. Okay, so we're just going to throw up some testimonials. So that was the presentation here, guys. I mean, we really want to thank you guys for joining us today. And these are actual BC Condos and Homes clients that we've helped out, first-time home buyers. You can have a read over the testimonials, and if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section. I know Verinder is manning the comment section there, and also the next steps over here. I mean, I think we've given enough. Hopefully you guys have read some of these testimonials here. What are the next steps here? I'm just going to kind of bring up that slide here, Verinder. So what can you do now? Next steps? No, I understand. This can be a very daunting experience. You don't know if you're ready today, if you're ready in 3 months or 6 months. Do I talk to Jerry or not? I mean, the next steps would be just to, scan this QR code, and I'll get Verinder to maybe put the link in the comments as well, is to just book a call. No obligation, guys. I mean, even if you are not looking to purchase today, if you're looking to purchase in 6 months or 12 months, it's really good to have a bit of a roadmap. So if you can't purchase today, we're going to make a roadmap for you that you are able to purchase the next 6 to 12 months or beyond. So again, thank you for joining us, and hopefully there's some comments or there's some questions that we can answer for you guys. And thank you.
And Jerry, there's one question that somebody asks. They're asking, is pre-approval a guarantee that they can buy a house?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. So we've had in the past, clients, Verinder, that have come up and they've said, I've been pre-approved. So they go out and give a subject-free offer, a cash offer, meaning you have to close on it. You're not protected. Pre-approval is not a guarantee that you can go out and purchase. Ultimately, the property is also important, and that's where your realtor partners come in to protect you. You have to have the proper realtor partner. There's a financing side and a real estate side. A pre-approval and a full approval that we do as well is to let you know how much pre-approval is basically a rate hold. A full approval that we do, we get you 95 to 97% of the way there. The other 3% is just based on the property. Does the lender like the property? Is everything kosher with the building that you might be buying in? So there are some variables there still, but we get you pretty much, close to 97% there.
All right, and there's another good question actually. It says somebody said my parents are willing to give me money.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah. No, I mean we I've had numerous conversations with clients over the years. They say, well, Jerry, I'm ready to go. I just don't have the down payment. I have the credit. I have everything, and I have the income. And then we ask them, well, is any of your family members willing to help out? And yes, your family members can gift you the down payment. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people over the years have said, well, I just don't have the money. I'm going to save up and I'll buy in the next 2 or 3 years. Yet they have access to family members that are willing to help them out. And yeah, we have gifted down payment programs for first-time home buyers. Absolutely, they can do that.
And here's one. Last one is, I think that one is, can first-time home buyers start looking at properties before they're even pre-approved?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that's just the nature of not knowing the process again, right? Of course, you can look at properties anytime you want, but how do you know what to look at? Should you be looking for a condo or a house? What price range are you looking at? It is really vital to know what your budget is and how much you're approved for before you start looking at properties, right? I mean, you can go out and look at $3 million properties or $500,000. We've had people come to us and said, well, we're looking at $800,000 properties here. It'd be awesome if we could buy for 1.2 million. And we've done the approval and they've been looking at 800 and they've qualified for 1.3, 1.4, and vice versa. We've had people looking at 1.3, but they only qualify for 850. So, I think it's best to get pre-approved or not pre-approved, get full approval from us before you start looking at properties.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Well, thank you everybody for joining the seminar. It was great to have you here, and hope you got some good information out that can help you whether to purchase right now or in the future. But we are here to help you at any given time.
For sure. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for attending, and thank you for investing in your future. So absolutely.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.